So we have a brand new corruption scandal involving Trump. He's been involved in a number of them before, but this is a brand new one. So as you all know, he violated the emoluments clause when he was president. The emoluments clause is this basic idea that the U.S. president cannot accept any money from foreign governments or any gifts from foreign governments, because then the idea is they're going to represent those governments over the will of the American people. So he did violate that a number of different times. He, of course, is a fraudulent businessman, as you all know. Trump University was a massive fraud. He had to pay out millions of dollars over that. He was just found liable in a New York court for tax fraud and insurance fraud and business fraud, and he has to pay a massive amount of money as a direct result of that. He's got a track record of selling out to different governments: Oman, Saudi Arabia, Israel. Very famously, he took $100 million from Sheldon Adelson on 2 separate occasions and gave him whatever he wanted vis-a-vis Israeli policy, including allowing Israel to annex the Golan Heights, among many other things, moving the embassy to Jerusalem. So he's just a corrupt guy. He took $1 million from the predatory payday loan industry for his inauguration when he won the 2016 election, and then he dumped all of the court cases into them and removed the regulations which were about to go on them. But this is totally new scandal, and it's not getting anywhere near the coverage that it should be getting. So let's watch, and then we'll break it down.
For the former president, politics and business go hand in hand. A new CNN investigation shows that Donald Trump has turned enthusiasm from his base into personal profit. Some Republican campaigns, including his own, along with allied political groups, have spent millions at Trump-owned businesses. Here's Kim La.
My new book, Save America, published by Winning Team Publishing, is now available for order.
In all the ways you already know former President Trump publicly makes money selling books and Bibles.
God bless the USA Bible.
Gold sneakers.
That's the real deal.
And trading cards.
I should also point out he's apparently involved in some new crypto scam thing. So, I mean, he's as corrupt as they come. Nothing has ever been more hilariously untrue than when he tried to run in 2016 as like an anti-establishment outsider who's against the corruption. He's as corrupt as any of them, if not more corrupt.
It's at Trump properties like Mar-a-Lago, Trump's opulent Florida home, where Republican campaign dollars are pouring into Trump's own pocket. More than 150 congressional candidates and political groups have spent millions at Trump properties and associated businesses, according to a CNN analysis of federal campaign finance data, with 2024 on track to be the biggest year of spending since 2016. The vast majority of the candidates are Republican and most endorsed by Trump.
A vote for Trump and Marino is a vote to put America first.
A clear example is Ohio businessman Bernie Marino, a political novice who made his fortune selling luxury cars. The same month Marino announced his run for the U.S. Senate last year, he spent $13,000 on event catering at Trump's Mar-a-Lago. The same day one of the payments was made, Trump posted on Truth Social, "Marino is a highly respected businessman who was thinking of running for the Senate." Trump endorsed Marino months later, calling him a MAGA fighter. 2 days after the endorsement, Marino spent $17,000 at Mar-a-Lago, and a month later, $80,000 more on a fundraiser at the private club attended by some in Trump's inner circle.
We asked him to come here to Florida so we could bring him here to the president's home, so we could share him with you.
Marino is now locked in a competitive battle for Ohio's Senate seat with Trump by his side.
He's a hero. He's a winner.
That coincidence of this significant spending nearly coinciding with a Trump endorsement doesn't prove beyond a reasonable doubt that there's been a bribe. That pattern does and should raise questions in the minds of voters about what's really going on here.
The incredible Carrie Lake.
I will do everything in my power to make sure this man gets back in the White House. We need him now more than ever.
Another Republican endorsed by Trump is also one of Mar-a-Lago's top political spenders. This year alone, Arizona Senate candidate Carrie Lake's campaign spent more than $100,000 on lodging, catering, and facility rentals.
$100,000 in a month, just so everybody understands. This is not like, that is not even, oh, these are legitimate services that are being provided. That's just, I'm just going to bribe you. I'm just going to give you more money, and hopefully that gets me favor with you. Hopefully you endorse me. I mean, that's at the heart of all of this. There's nobody who's naive enough to actually sincerely believe that, yeah, no, she just happened to spend $100,000 on goods and services while at Mar-a-Lago. No, nonsense. And I wouldn't be surprised if there was like a bidding war to become his vice president, where different people who wanted to be vice president were funneling in money through Mar-a-Lago. In fact, Carrie Lake did want to be vice president, right? That's one of them. But like this, if the same set of facts, but imagine it's Joe Biden or Kamala Harris, and they have this big piece of property, and Democratic politicians funnel them money through there, and then he does favors for them, this would be the biggest scandal in the country. But with Trump, it's like number 7 on the scandal list for just this week.
Include retired football star and former Georgia Republican Senate candidate Herschel Walker. His campaign spent the most of any congressional candidate in the last decade, nearly $215,000 at Mar-a-Lago, Trump's golf club in West Palm Beach, and his Las Vegas hotel.
You know, Herschel is not only a Georgia hero, he is an American legend.
Trump endorsed Walker, who would go on to lose his race. Political groups also dropped big money at Trump's businesses. The RNC spending more than $2 million since 2016. But at the top spot by far is Donald Trump himself, whose campaigns and associated political committees have funneled more than $28 million in political contributions to his businesses, from renting his ballroom to his campaign to using election donations to pay for his private jet.
See, that's just him robbing his donors. How many of that 28 million is small dollar donors who believe in Trump? And then he took that money, just funneled it to himself through one of his businesses. And he's going to say, oh no, this was all totally legitimate. This was all like, goods and services, $28 million worth. No, he's a fucking con artist. And he's shaking down his supporters. And you know what the saddest part is? I think his supporters are at the point now where they would just not care and be like, I don't care what he does with my money. He can rob me if he wants to. How pathetic. I don't know how this is fucking allowed. I mean, I know we have weak campaign finance laws and we have weak laws vis-a-vis corruption. You need a hardcore quid pro quo, et cetera, but that's not how the system works. The quid pro quos are always implied. And this is self-dealing to the highest level.
Trump, the candidate, has been paying Trump, the businessman.
It's not illegal. The law is that candidates can spend money at their own businesses, provided that the businesses provide real goods or services at a fair market rate.
But if it's $28 million, it's obviously not a fair market rate. Like, what are we talking about? Oh, my God.
It certainly raises at least an appearance of self-dealing that is very concerning from a corruption standpoint.
In a statement, the Trump campaign told CNN these allegations are false, adding, committees are paying the fair market rate for all venues and services.
Absurd. At this point, if you go along with this guy, you just want to be a mark. Like, you want to be a mark. You're in a cult and you want to be a mark. This is unacceptable. Like I said, if this was Joe Biden or this was Kamala Harris, exact same set of facts. Trump attacked the Clinton Foundation for similar types of things. But when it's him, it's no problem at all. I don't know how anybody can look at this and think it's okay. Guys, Trump's running for president right now. He's taken probably tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars from the government of Saudi Arabia to have the Live Golf League events at his courses. You don't think that's a bribe? You don't think that's, we'll give you this money now, and then when you're in office, you do whatever we want? We can buy whatever policy from you we want? Remember, Trump vetoed a bill to cut off weapons to Saudi Arabia because Saudi Arabia was doing a genocide of innocent Yemeni civilians. It was Mike Lee and it was Bernie Sanders who got together and said, we're going to cut off weapons because they're killing innocent people. And Trump vetoed that bill to side with Saudi Arabia. And were already giving him money back then, not for the Live Golf League, but for other things back then, $300,000 through his hotels, for example. There was a big story that came out a few months back, maybe 3-4 months ago, about how Trump is in the midst of a massive business deal with the government of Oman. You're running for president. You're running for president. You can't have all of these business interests from all these foreign nations and all these companies and all these fucking political candidates. That is the hallmark of corruption. But nobody cares. Nobody cares. Credit to CNN for doing this reporting here. This is super important. But again, in the era of Trump, the news cycle goes so fast, the bar is so high to get people's attention that a run-of-the-mill corruption story is like yawn fest, but it's like this undercuts his entire fucking message as the anti-establishment guy. Remember all the times he was on the debate stage in 2016 castigating the other candidates because this guy is a puppet for his donors. You are too. You are too. And the difference is with you, it's worse because you virtue signaled like you weren't that when the other guys never did. They just came as advertised as sleazy politicians. You're the sleaziest politician, but you pretend like you're above that. Nobody should fall for this guy's bullshit anymore. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.